Hi, hello everyone, and welcome to the fourth episode of AI Dev Series. So today with us we have João Salvado. João, really nice to have you here today.
Hello.
So João is from Microsoft and he didn't say happy with just being here twice, so he'll be here for the third time with us.
Probably we will have a next time.
Hopefully.
Hopefully, yeah.
So on this episode, we will be talking about speech services, right?
Yes, absolutely. And first of all, thank you very much for this invitation. So I think it's our last, so far, at least from what I know, our last dev series. And it's been a pleasure talking and being here with you, seeing all these demos that you were able to build with Azure Service. So exactly as you were saying, today we're going to speak about Azure AI Speech. So we have already discussed in the past sessions about a lot of things. We discussed about OpenAI, we discussed about search, we already looked to document intelligence, a lot of stuff in fact. But today we want to go to another level. We want to bring multimodality to our service. So that's why we are going to discuss about Azure Speech to Text and Text to Speech. So both of them that can bring to your Gen AI applications to multimodality. So you have a voice and you have ears on your application.
So it's like a new interface with my application.
Yeah, I hope so. I'm really excited to see the demo that you have prepared here. But yeah, let's see how you could change your Gen AI applications to introduce also these components. So let's go. So first of all, I want to discuss about the technologies that we have for text-to-speech. And we have multiple offerings on this field. So we have pre-built neural voices that you can use completely out of the box, where you have this supported in multiple regions with REST APIs, with the SDK, where you can also interact in a web portal. You have things also like custom neural voice, and in custom neural voice you have Pro, you have Lit, and you have a personal voice, and I will discuss about the difference between each one of them. So when you are doing something with Azure AI Speech, you know exactly the service that you can use for your needs. We will also look to some nice stuff where you can build your custom avatar, so you can eventually have an avatar even with your face talking and speaking by you. So it's also a nice use case that we have available. So if we look into more details to the text-to-speech offerings, we can first look here to the professional versus personal voice. So personal voice is something that you, let's say with 5 seconds speaking, you can create your own voice. I was just doing this yesterday with a friend of mine, and we were testing, just speaking 6 seconds, and the voice was like super similar with
with only 6 seconds of data source, it can...
just saying a sentence, it's not perfect, of course, but it's like similar to the voice. Then when you want another type of solution, let's say you want a brand voice for your company, something like that, then we have another type of solutions. Then we have here the professional and the leads, where in the professional you will have, of course, more quality. You need to provide way more audio than the more text and audio compared to the lead and the personal voice. But you have here multiple options based on your needs and your budget, of course. It will also something that vary. But one thing that we have that is super nice, it's the pre-built voices in the platform, So I will allow you to choose one of these voice, And one thing for you to know, for the same voice we have multiple styles. So you can have one voice with a poem style, or the same another voice with the e-learning style. So you can choose one.
Well, I like the poem. So we were talking about text. So let's go for
the poem.
Yeah.
In the garden of life, every rose has its dawn, petals strewn on the paths we've drawn. Thorns.
It's a poem. I can say. I will not be able to do this, but
and that's a neural generated voice, right? It's not a person.
Yes. It's a generated voice, something that we have here available. And then you also have one thing that it's nice for the same voice. You can have the same voice in multiple languages. So imagine that you have an application and you want to have something that it can work with all of them. Then you can have something like that.
The
for
world
example,
is
this
full of
example.
beauty when your heart is full of love. Le monde è plein de beauté quand votre cœur est plein d'amour. Il mondo è pieno di bellezza quando il tuo cuore è pieno d'amore.
I don't know if we have French people and Italian at home, but if so, they will see. At least I can say that the voice is the same.
It's
I don't
similar,
understand.
yes.
I don't. I can say if it's correct. Okay, but this is something that you use the voice out of the box. Then you also have the custom neural voices where you train with your brand identity, which have some use cases that are also nice. Like as I was saying, in this custom neural voice, you have the lead, you have the pro, based a bit on what you want to do. You can train that. For the lead perspective, it's also quite simple. Okay, with 20-50 record samples, you can start creating a model. So in around 30 minutes, you can have a model. I have here just one example.
This is my custom neural voice light model that was created by reading 50 predefined sentences into my laptop.
So
Okay.
it was even using the laptop, okay? It was
Okay.
not like
In a studio,
in a studio.
collecting the
Of course, if you want to go to the pro solution, probably you want to do something like that in studio and have the conditions, okay, and all.
And it took 30 minutes to train the model. So
Yeah.
after the samples, you took through 30
30
minutes.
minutes
Okay.
to train, so it's something
That's impressive.
is super fast, okay? The personal voice that I was referring before, it's also nice if you have, let's say, one application and you want to allow people to create a voice for their own assistant, something like that. They can keep talking with themselves.
Okay.
So it's,
Yeah.
it's something
The
that,
modern version of talking to a mirror, right?
yeah.
Okay.
Absolutely. Then one thing that we also have, it's like the multi-style, okay, where you can have one voice and put multiple styles.
This is
So-
my custom neural voice speaking in a natural and unemotional tone. This is my custom neural voice speaking in an angry tone. This is my custom neural voice. This is my custom neural. This is my custom neural
Okay.
You
voice
see?
speaking in a whisper. This is my custom neural voice speaking in a sad tone.
So depending on what you want, you can have like multiple styles. You can
Okay.
infuse.
So the first
styles.
one, what was the?
The first one, it was like the custom neural voice without any
Okay,
emotional
okay,
style. Okay,
okay.
then you can bring on that.
It's because
neural-
I thought I was hearing one of my teachers.
yeah,
Back in school.
I hope not.
It
I hope
resembles
that I hope that I not terrified you.
No, but it's really so it's the same voice, but it's with different tones. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
okay.
So that's something that's nice and that you can have out of the voice, out of the box in a nice way. Okay, so. There are a lot of use cases for this application. You have in things like voice assistants, gaming. It's also a thing. Accessibility. It's something that people should care about, and we see more and more people caring about this. Doing it's also one thing where you can apply this type of service. Translation, of course. For media, for consumption media, books, podcasts, videos, everything. So it's also that we also have available. One thing that you also have available in the platform is that after you're doing some speech to text, you can start tuning your voice, tuning the voice style, so you can do a post edit. Let's say that we have this video, okay? We train our voice and then we want to put this in German because at least I'm not capable of doing. I don't know if you are.
No.
But we
Awesome.
could do something like that,
Okay.
okay? And then use the audio content creation tool to adapt, to tune the voice, to choose the styles exactly. So this is something that you can do afterwards that could be nice. And one thing that I was saying that's also nice that you could include in a platform, it's having a text-to-speech avatar. So instead of talking and hearing just a voice, you can clearly see someone speaking with the lips, okay? And this is a colleague of mine. I just talked with him like 1 week ago, so I know that
He's a real person.
he's
Okay.
a real person. Okay, maybe you do not know, but yeah, I know the guy. And yeah, there's something that you can also create, which is the custom tool. So you can go to even talk in this speech studio that we have. You have the live chat avatar. You can interact with it. You can ask questions and do things with this type of service, which enable a lot of nice service. Okay, there are a lot of scenarios where you can apply these things like brand identity, custom persona, things like I was saying, natural interaction. So that's something that you already did in the past. Some Gen AI nice application. I think it was in our first dev series that you did one, right?
The one, yeah.
Yeah, so you could add on top of that, you could add something like this. So you have interaction with an avatar.
Right.
Another thing that it's also interesting that you could use this platform for, it's on video dubbing. So you have, and we see, actually in Portugal we do not do that a lot, but for example in Spain and Brazil they usually do a lot of dubbing, and so that's something that our platform can also help, or for TV shows, for movies, documentaries. Then of course you have this for available for other things, like you can do this on news, you can do this for learning materials. There's a lot of things where you can apply this type of flow. So the flow usually is really simple. You have a video input, you do the speech to text, you do the translation, you can do a content editing, which I was saying that you can adapt a bit to make it sounds more real, okay? And then you can do a text to speech and having an output video from this. Then we also have the text to speech available with the Azure OpenAI. So we now have 6 present voices to choose from. You have Alloy, Echo, Fable, Onvi, Nova, and Shimmer. So this is also an option that you have if you are not satisfied with the other options that we have, and you have this available in 57 languages. So probably should be enough.
Hopefully, yeah.
Yeah. So there's also another thing that I want to bring to the table that it's super interesting, is that when you see that people are on social media, 85% of the videos are watched without sound.
Okay.
So this is like a super nice thing to see, right? So if you want your content, even from a marketing perspective, I don't know, to be consumed, maybe it's super important for you to also have the text available.
Right.
So that's when we start entering the other approach, okay? We are entering here the speech to text.
Okay,
So we've been talking about the text to speech, now we are entering here the speech to text. And we can also provide service for this. So you can have out-of-the-box services that allows you to transcribe in real-time speech-to-text, okay? We have one service that is a speech-to-text real-time, but we also have inside Azure AI Speech one tool for batch speech-to-text, okay? We have an SLA up to 24 hours, but here we usually are looking to a bulk of
a lot of content, right?
Yeah, a lot of content where you want to apply this speech to text. Then we also have available the OpenAI Whisper that you can use for the same needs, where it's almost near real time. And this is all the things that we already have introduced, but we have introduced like 3 weeks ago, okay, around 3 weeks ago, the fast transcription. The fast transcription is super powerful because you can have an audio of 13 minutes and you can transcribe this audio in less than 1 minute.
Okay. So a meeting that we have right in the company, in 1 or 2 minutes we will probably have the transcribe.
You can have the transcribe of that, which is not an approach, let's say, where you are doing the transcription in real time,
right?
Okay, but from a batch perspective, it's way more interesting than we have for example, up to 24 hours, which is what we had in the past. Right now, we have this state-of-the-art model that allows you to sample this in a really super fast way. Before, in the past, if you wanted like to have around 1-to-1, okay, 1 minute audio, 1 minute transcription, you will need to run something like the real time on the audio to have the fast read SLA. So with this, we have another option that could be super interesting.
Fast transcription is a cutting-edge technology that transcribes audio file into text synchronously, accurately, and much faster than audio time. Typically, it can transcribe a 30-minute audio in less than 1 minute. Compared with real-time speech-to-text, fast transcription returns the transcription result as a whole with a high speed factor.
So it was just for understanding that this is a option that has a lot of value that can be super interesting. Okay.
It really depends on the use case. So if you really, the idea is, do you really need real time or not? If you're not, you can use that one because it's going to be
it really depends. I see scenarios where all of them make sense. So if you have an application that you need to have a real-time interaction, maybe the real-time transcription is what makes sense, right? Because look, here it says everything. Thanks for using Azure Speech, and maybe you want to start receiving all this audio and start processing this audio. Okay,
Right.
there are other scenarios where you have a lot of audios and you don't care. Okay, it can take a bit more. It's not really a problem for me. I will do post analytics, for example, in a call center, and it's not something important. And there are other scenarios where you need to have, let's say you had a meeting, and in the end of the meeting you want to do like the transcription
and then a
summary.
And you can
right?
use then
That's a scenario.
that you can use
do-
OpenAI for
yeah,
summarize.
doing the sentiment analysis, things like that, right? So you can do all that transcription super fast, and then you have here, okay? And that's a scenario that could also be applied in a call center. There is an all conversation, and then in the end of the conversation, here is the transcription. Now give me the sentiment analysis of the client. Was the problem solved or not? Yeah, that's going to be way easier. Yeah. So from the perspective of the speech to text, you also have another option that is creating your custom speech. Let's say that you start seeing the transcriptions, and they are good. But you have a specific environment where people talk with a lot of noise, and there are a lot of specific things or specific words that you want to train to recognize, okay, your jargon, so you can have your custom speech. So that's also something that is also available in the platform for you to use, okay?
Right. No, that makes sense. So, for example, we struggle a lot with the OutSystems word, right?
That's
because
an example.
it's usually the transcribers recognize it as out and systems as two words, for example. So with this custom speech, we could train the model to understand that probably when someone is saying OutSystems, not saying out
systems.
And systems. It's just the name OutSystems. Okay, that's nice.
That's absolutely the scenario, and we have a lot of customers that are leveraging this custom speech for this purpose, right? So you just have to create a custom speech project, upload your audio, test and evaluate the quality, upload the speech data, start training the model, continue testing and evaluate it.
It's the process of testing.
It's the process normal. Then you deploy the custom model, and by the time that you have the custom model deployed, you just need to consume with the API endpoint. So super simple and super fast to train. And one thing that we always take really serious is our responsible AI principles. So you have 6 pillars on these responsible AI principles. As you can understand, there are a lot of things here. For example, in this custom neural voice that can be used for bad things, like you always have bad actors. So that's why we have here a limited access feature where you need to apply. It's not something that you cannot have access to, but it's important for us to understand our technology, its use, and guarantee that it's used in the correct way. That's a point that it's important for us as well. For example, I was talking with you regarding the personal voice that I created, and this was the sentence that I read. Okay, I am aware that records of my voice will be used to create and use a synthetic version of my voice. I just read this sentence to create my own personal voice. So it was like something super fast, and of course I have to disclose the synthetic nature of the service to users and use only in approved case. So I was just using for testing and my purpose inside my subscription. But it's something super important. If we look to the use case itself, there's really a lot of things. So you have audiobooks in the media and entertainment. You have audiobooks, you have advertisement, you have the news, the podcasts, you have in the gaming for accessibility features for real-time chat conversations. You have the dubbing that we already talked a lot. BBC is one of our customers that use this type of service with Azure Cognitive Service and other Azure's resource to create an AI-enabled voice assistant. So it's one example that we are proud of. We also have a lot of other examples in education for e-learning and online courses, textbook accessibility, language learning. One example that we have, it's with Duolingo. Duolingo, it's well known for people that wants to learn another language, and we have in Duolingo a natural text-to-speech voice to help people learn. So it's a super interesting example of applying this technology for people to learn more.
So really nice. My daughter is actually, she says, I want to learn a little bit of Spanish. So we started before doing any course. Start with here, and she was enjoying the voice. Okay, it's generated by with text to speech. Okay, that's nice. I didn't know that.
Yeah, I think it's a nice example to reform. And another example that we have that it's also super nice. It's in telecommunication industry scenarios. We have, for example, Vodafone that created Toby. Toby, it's a digital assistant that leverage technologies like these that we have just described, and also generative AI technologies for this. Another, of course, it's insurance. Insurance, you also have a lot of things like question and answering, where people can call and discuss about a lot of topics, and you can leverage this speech to text and text to speech for this type of service. Right.
I always, when I have to fill up, big forms, I always get the feeling that this should be a conversation and not, be filling field by field. So from a conversation, you could extract the info and then fill up the. So that makes sense.
Yeah, and you can see that with this type of technologies, the game really changed, right? In the past, you called, for example, the call centers. It's just one example, and then you had like those EVRs. Okay, if you want to this, press one, and then you go, and if you want to do this or this, press two. Okay, and people then, okay, I didn't want to press 2, I pressed 3, and then you have to hang up and call again, and okay, let me go the flow again. With these new capabilities that you have with bringing the speech to text, you can then put this text and use the generative AI models that help you go in the flow of the conversation and really understands what people
the intent, right? What people want to do.
What do you want to do? So that I do not have to start doing questions and things that really don't matter. So I see really a lot of value in this type of technologies, in the ways that we can apply. And I see that this kind of STT and TTS can bring multimodality to all these applications. Another scenario that we also see, it's in healthcare, right? In healthcare, you can do a lot of things. You can have consultations, and then in these consultations, you can bring that all things that are said to text that can help, let's say, the doctors in the end to do some things, to have a summarization of what was discussed, so that doctors can focus on talking with more patients and helping more patients, and not be so focused. Okay, now let me write all the things that I discussed. This is a lot of optimization that we can do in this type of things. Okay, even in trainings of physicians. I think that
healthcare always rings a bell to me as compliance. So I understand that all of this is compliant with security rules that we have for healthcare problem, right?
Yeah, that's one thing that it's important. For example, Layerdal, it's super nice that they use this Azure AI text-to-speech to help train a lot. I think it was nurse here, exactly, on virtual training. So it's also a nice example on application of these technologies. Then you need to bring a voice to all of these things that are done, right? So we do that. Accessibility, I've already said during this conversation, is something that is super important for us, and we want to make the content audible for people in need. So I think that's something that all organizations should take into consideration. For example, if you look to Microsoft tools and you go, for example, to Word and things like that, you always have accessibility features that help you when you want to explain what you're seeing and things like that I believe that have a lot of power, and that this type of technologies can help.
Well, I'm actually seeing the last line there. It's really interesting. Help people preserve their voice before that's interesting.
That's a scenario. So you can preserve that voice eventually if you have some problem, and in the future with some.
Well, you're right. No, it's something that you don't think about until those kind of stuff happen. So interesting use case. Yeah.
Of course, it's not something. I hope that does not happen.
No, I know, but it's it's
but it's a way that can help people that are in need in this type of situations. So Azure, as a kind of more the last part of this, I want to bring a video that explains kind of all this and the speech analytics that we are bringing to all these call centers and everything. So I'm going to play here the video.
Introducing Speech Analytics, now available in Azure AI Studio. Leveraging large multimodal AI models, speech analytics streamlines insights from audio and video interactions, offering a comprehensive tool for post-call analytics, video captioning, and conversation summarization. With the power of Azure OpenAI's generative AI, blended with Azure AI's speech and language models, users can rely on a seamless, integrated service. At Contoso Call Center, a quality assurance manager can easily configure continuous call recording evaluations for in-depth performance insights. With the user-friendly setup wizard, they can select post-call analytics and pick from ready-to-use configuration options that are customizable to meet any need. With setup complete, the user can start generating new analysis results by uploading audio or video files to storage. Once the calls have been analyzed, they can view detailed results, including a call summary, transcript, and overall sentiment of the call. Users have the option to either use the results created from the template or make advanced changes by editing the analytics flow in Prompt Flow. Get started now with analytics scenario templates for common use cases and scale effortlessly from proof of concept to production workloads. Visit Speech Analytics in Azure AI Studio to learn more.
Yeah.
Azure AI, where innovators are creating the future.
So this was a nice example. And now I want to bring something that we also announced like 3 weeks ago.
Okay.
That is regarding multilingual speech translation and video translation. So now probably you remember back when we were looking to the avatar and I said that the guy, it was a colleague of mine and the real one. So we are going to see him now. So
he's the...
confirm that he is the one. So I'm going to play a video of a demo that he did back in Build.
I've been working on something that is truly remarkable, and I am going to let it speak for itself. Let me just full screen this guy. Hopefully the sound works. We're going to find out. This is our new video translator. With this, I can translate videos into other languages in my own voice. Maintenant, je peux enfin parler français comme je l'ai toujours voulu. または日本語で何かをささやくこともできます。या मैं हिंदी में चिल्लाकर आपसे बात करूं? This AI is going to bring the world together.
So it's a super nice example.
It is. So it's using the voice of the person.
Yeah.
It's translating at the same time.
Yeah, and even putting things like the whispering.
Yeah,
and things like that. So it's super nice. And I just want to bring here a really simple example that we spotlight of iTour Translator that is basically using glasses for this and appearing like the translation of what people is saying. So it's just an example.
iTour Translator glasses. They can translate any language. You should talk to me.
What about in Spanish?
Yeah, it does.
¿Se puede ver los subtítulos en las gafas?
Yeah, I can see the subtitles right in front of my eyes.
And it's in real time, always putting here in English.
它能够自动识别不同国家的语言，然后翻译成中英文，对吗？
Yeah, it can automatically recognize any language and translate it into English for me.
So
Okay, it's real time, yeah.
The translation comes from Microsoft. Now I can understand everything you're saying. Here, try them on.
So it's a nice example of applying this type of technology and in a glasses seeing exactly the translation. So I'm just putting here some resources where you can start this and start learning more about all these resources. And before passing the ball to the things that really matters, that are your super and exciting demos that I can't wait to see. I just want to see that until now we always had technologies that you could use for speech to text, but now we are seeing that you can have speech to results. You can start seeing summaries, translations, sentiment analysis, and a lot of things in real time that you can do with this technology. So I'm really excited to see what people will build with all of these things. But right now, why don't you show us how can we really
I'm going to show an example
in practice.
And what we can see here is every piece start getting connected, right?
Absolutely.
So let's try to connect some pieces here. So I will now present on the OutSystems side how can you use these speech services that you are showing. We're going to just show a subset, right? So we're going to talk about the Azure speech services. What we'll be covering today, it's the connector that's been built, also how to set up it, and then the hands-on demo. So it's always finish with a live demo. So this connector will soon be available at OutSystems Forge. The Azure Speech Services connector. What does this connector have? Is just to start very simple. Two different actions. One will be the speech to text, and the other one will be the text to speech. So it's on the two directions. And going on the details of these connectors. So the speech to text, the input parameters that you have, it's the audio. You will receive a file with the audio that you have recorded your voice. Then you have some optional configs where you can configure specific configurations on this service that can be then applied on the Azure service, like the language, for example. And the site properties config is if you need to override the configurations that you have, like the region or the endpoint, so it's possible to
you
override.
have that property to change if you need.
Right. So when I use this action, in the end, what I will receive, of course, it's the text. So the text that was identified in that speech will be returned in an output parameter. So really simple, right? It doesn't need to be that complicated. Actually, what is happening is behind the scenes, we are creating the requests and doing the requests and gathering the answers and packaging up those answers. So this looks like it is as simple as this. So the connector itself covers the steps that we need to do from scratch. Now, on the other way, you have the text to speech, right? It's exactly what we've been seeing, the examples here of I have a text that will be converted to our speech. Also, the optional configs, we can select the voice. So who is the person? Well, not the person, but the name.
The name
of
the
exactly.
ones.
And I was recognizing
the names.
The names there, yes. And also, of course, the site properties config, so you can override the regions and the endpoint keys. So again, very simple. Because in the end you will have the audio file that you need to listen or to save or whatever you need to do it. Okay. So with this, right, it's these two really simple actions that you have. The way you need to configure is configuring these site properties on Service Center. That is the keys. Or the subscription key. Also, you need to define the endpoints. Okay. Usually, so what changes here? It's always the same endpoint, but the region changes.
Yeah,
but this
depending
endpoint,
on
where I want to deploy these services. So before using it, in terms of the setup, I need to go to my Azure portal, and I need to create a speech service. And on the speech service, after I configure the speech service there, I will get the endpoint, and I'll get the keys that I will use when I need to configure to call my service. So it's not different from any other service that we have already been covered. It's the same thing. You need to go to the flow is you go to Azure portal, you set up the service, you collect the endpoint, and you get the keys, and you just configure on the connectors, and it's ready to go.
Nice.
But it's just showing where you can find those endpoints. Okay. So now the demo time, right?
Ooh, the best part.
This was really not much to talk about. In the explanation, you'll see how the connector works. So what's the use case here? So the use case is I already have a personal assistant application. Okay, but it's used as normal as a ChatGPT, for example. It has an input text that you type, you click, and you get yes,
a response. Yeah.
So I don't have a fancy avatar like you have, right? Yet, but I have created, or I got an avatar for this gentleman. I don't know if you're recognizing this gentleman here. That will be our user. Okay, you will be talking to Neo. So Neo is OutSystems mascot, and it will be your personal assistant. Okay.
Okay. Great.
Now, what are we going to do? Let me just move here to Service Studio. Really quick. Okay. And now what we will do is we have this screen, right? So in terms of the flow, what do we need to do? So we need to capture the audio, okay? Then we need to convert the audio to text. So we can call the OpenAI service, the Azure OpenAI service, to get the response. And then we got the response in text, right? And we need then to convert to audio again and play that sound so
makes sense.
So you can hear. So
you are bringing the multimodality here really into the game.
Exactly. So that's the idea. So let me just refresh this, see everything is working here fine. Let's just test this, okay? Hello, something like this. Let's just see first. Okay, nice to see you today. Okay,
yeah,
it's working. So let's start building this. Like I said, the first thing we need to do is to collect the audio. Okay, so we have a component, and it's an audio util library that I have here. That's going to be record button. Okay, we will use this record button. Let's just add it here to to the screen. And okay, so it just added here this component where we'll click to record the sound, and there's an event here. So on the recorded event, so I'm going to create a new handler. Okay, so when I record something, I will receive the audio file that was recorded. Okay,
makes sense.
So first things first, right? What we want to do is we want to convert this audio into text, so we can at least see what was said, right? So let's just go to references. Let's select here Azure. Oops, sorry, I don't know what happened here. Speech services. Okay, I'm gonna just select everything, and I'm gonna say it's the. And I'm always confused. It's the speech to text.
Yeah.
It's speech to text, right? Okay, so first things first. So speech to text. I will collect the audio. Okay, let's just, by the way, drill down here on the optional configs, so I can change the recognition mode, the format, what to do with profanity if I want to hide or to highlight, so not highlight, to show
those
the language.
The parameters that you were talking about.
Yeah, the parameters that I was talking about. So we now have the speech to text. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to set my variable, the one that is on the input parameter, on the input box, text box. I will do this, and also what I'm going to do is I'm going to add the user message. So what this will do is it will, on the UI,
it will put
it will, like if you just
type and you click enter, it will do the same.
Yes,
without.
exactly.
Makes sense.
So after that, now we have the user message. What I'm going to do is I'm going to call, I already have here one client action, but in this case it will be called a server action that will use OpenAI, and I'm just sending the question. So the question is, well, I can use what come from the speech to text, or I can use this text varies the same because I just assign it here.
It's just what came from.
So in this step now, I have already went to the server, to the OpenAI service, got the Azure OpenAI service, I got the answer, okay? And now that I have that text, what I want to do also is I want to show the answer of the bot in the UI, okay? So I'm just going to drag the add bot message. The text will be the answer from the generated answer. Okay? I will get that. And then after this, everything should be okay. It should be there. Let me just clean this variable, okay? Because now I don't need, to have the text on the input, because I can write either type or talk.
One or the other.
So I'm going to clean this, okay? And after that, what I need to do, it's actually I need to text to speech.
Yeah.
Text to speech, right? So after this, I'm going to text to speech. I have some configurations that I need to have. That is, for example, the voice name. Okay. I really like Emma's and Christopher, so
Okay.
I'll let you.
I accept Christopher.
You'll say okay, so Christopher.
Christopher.
Okay, and the text to speech will give me the audio. Okay, and I'm going to play that sound. Okay, that
You have
is
the action to play
the
sound.
yeah. I'm going to use the text to speech audio. Okay. So let me just publish this, and while I'm publishing, let's just check the logic. So I'm getting the recorded, the audio, right? I'm going to speech to text, right? After that, I'm going to input what I got, the text, into my input on the UI. I'm going to add that as a user message. Then I'm going for the Azure OpenAI service with that question to get the answer.
When you send to the OpenAI, you're just sending exactly just the question, not adding anything else.
No,
right?
I'm just sending the question.
question
I had the system.
You had the system message?
I could have the system prompt, but in this case, I'm just sending the message. I'm getting the answer and getting the bot. I'm cleaning this. I'm converting the text into the speech.
Exactly.
And I'm going to just, okay, so let's go and let's see what happens here. Okay, so it has loaded the new version, right? So let's start here. Hello.
Hello.
Oh, hello. Oh, there's something wrong here.
Yeah.
Let's check it, right?
Looks like.
So what am I playing?
It looks like it's playing just the. It's at least it said something.
It says, right, but it's the speech to text. Ah, no, it's the answer.
Okay, you're playing what you're sending. What?
Yes. So I just made an echo.
That's absolutely an echo application.
Yes, exactly.
It's okay. You just show that it worked.
Right. So I just made an echo application of my voice. Okay, so let's do this again. Okay.
Yeah.
Now let's record this again. Hello.
Hello.
This again.
How can I assist you with math or physics today?
So it's our helper.
Yeah.
So let's say something like, what is the result of 1 plus 1?
The result of 1 plus 1 is 2.
I think it's correct.
Yeah. Let's ask something like, why is the sky blue?
The sky appears blue during the day because of a phenomenon called Rayleigh scattering.
Okay.
The Earth's atmosphere is made up of molecules such as oxygen and
Maybe
nitrogen.
I should have limited the
Molecules
amount of
are most
information.
efficient at scattering the shortest, bluest wavelengths of sunlight. As the light moves through the atmosphere, the blue light is scattered in all directions, making the sky above appear blue to our eyes.
So, as you can see, do you want to try this one?
Yeah. I want you're saying that thing regarding not answering such a big question. I was curious if it would be easier for us to customize the answers that it would give.
Yes. I think we can really easy come here. So whenever we are generating the answer, right?
Yeah. Let's say you can't reply with more than I don't know,
like this.
20 words or 50 words.
Reply.
How would you do that?
I would just come here and I would just add this like reply in maximum, let's say 20 or 30, right?
Yeah.
20 words. Okay. Let's just close this real fast. Let's publish this again.
Yeah.
And maybe you can try now.
Yeah, maybe I can try
Let's just
now.
gonna publish. And now we just need to refresh here. Now it will be with your own voice, right? Let's just see if this is working. Just hello. It is. So okay. So you see it's initializing only when you get the timer. It's when it really starts recording. Okay.
Okay. Now please, how much is 2 plus 2? That's an easy one.
2 plus 2 equals 4.
So let's do the one with the sky.
Yeah. Okay, now explain me why the sky is blue.
Scattering of sunlight by atmosphere particles
now you
makes
are
blue light
controlling.
reach our eyes
Yes.
more than other colors.
Completely. Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
So as you can see, there's a lot of things you can do, right? It's just a matter, like you were saying, of imagination, right?
Yeah.
But with a really simple flow and using the text to speech and the speech to text actions, it was possible to transform an application that was merely a text-based application, right? You need to write into something that is, like you said, multi.
Yeah. Now let's say that I want to change a bit the things on the speech part. So let's say I would like to do this in Portuguese. Would be something that
Okay.
we could do.
Let's try that. Now we're going off the script.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Absolutely.
So, the speech to text, right?
Yes.
We need to do language.
Okay.
Let's say PT, okay?
Yeah, I think that's like that. Yeah.
Or is it? Yeah, it is like this.
I think it's like this. Yeah.
Just let me check if this is. The voice? No, not this one. Sorry, the speech text. I think it's text, right? So
Yeah.
just to make sure it's. Yeah, it's text. Okay. Okay, so we're gonna say it's PT, right? And now, on the text on the bot message. On the generate answer. Oops, sorry. Let's go back. So here, what we're gonna do is reply with maximum 20 words in PT.
Yeah, that's important.
Right, because now on the text to speech, on the voice name, we need to change this probably to someone that can be multilingual, I think.
Yeah, I think Emma. Let's try Emma.
Okay.
Emma multilingual.
So, one of the great things about this is that if this speaks in Portuguese, only the Portuguese-speaking people will be able to understand if this is right or wrong, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
So maybe we could have chosen another language.
Yeah, but if it speaks English, everyone will notice that it's not Portuguese.
Right. So let's just try and see if typing gets something. Okay, so it's Portuguese. It says, "Hello, I can help you with math and physics today." So do you want to give it a try? So remember, it's when it appears the.
Olá, podes-me explicar a segunda lei de Newton? That's not an easy physics question, but he said that could help me.
A segunda lei de Newton diz que a força resultante aplicada em um objeto é igual à sua massa vezes a aceleração.
All right. So sorry, I was already speaking Portuguese because I was speaking Portuguese.
Yeah.
So that actually worked, right? Pretty much. So with some tuning, you can get this with multi-language. You can have, I don't know, this could be configured, right? So what we hard coded there.
Yeah,
those could be parameters, right?
You can configure a lot of things. So you are bringing a voice to the new, right? So
Yes. In this case, it's M, I think.
Yeah.
But it was, I think it was, this one was actually a really interesting test.
Yeah. Another thing that we could do that would be a bit... I will not ask you to do that.
Okay.
That one, I know that we already went a bit off records from a demo perspective, but you could, let's say, train your own voice, for example. So you could bring your voice, and with your voice you train, so that instead of listening to a pre-trained voice, we will do your amazing voice.
It wouldn't be better than Emma or I don't know if it was.
Sure. I'm not
but
so
it
sure.
Would it would be but yeah, I think there's a lot to explore, right? These were really simple steps that were done using what's already out of the box.
Yeah.
There's way more complex use cases that we could try,
Absolutely.
but it's I think it gives a glimpse of what's the possibilities and what is the potential.
Yeah.
So maybe I don't know if we have any questions in the chat that are still unanswered. I don't know if we have. Probably not. I don't think we have much more, right? So I think we can go to the thank you part, right?
Yeah.
I'm just gonna remember everyone before just ending that this is the 4th episode of this series. You can check on the playlist all the other episodes. So two of them are here with João.
Yeah.
I think you will enjoy it. It has
Já tenho imagem, foca só.
foca no trabalho.
Sim.
Deixa o que tivemos de calhar um.
Estás focado? Ok, tá. Sobe só um bocadinho. Vou pôr no ar em 3, 2, 1.
Is it trained already? The
Well,
voice?
It's almost trained.
Yeah.
We had some time here. We were discussing what would be the next things that would go live, but they are still secrets. So sorry for that. So for all of you that have seen this session, I want to thank you, and also I want to thank you, João, of course, for being here. It's always a pleasure having you here.
It was amazing.
At least this is the last session that we have planned, but I would really enjoy, to have some more sessions because I think this is really interesting content that we have here. So thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you all, and have a great day, everyone.
Have a great day. Bye.